Johnny Depp and Winona Ryder were the Justin Bieber and Hailey Baldwin of their day. Their relationship was total goals, but it was also a hot topic for tabloids in the late 80s and early 90s. Fans still talk about them, and Riveted has broken down everything you need to know about the relationship that quickly went sour. From the 12 years between Jay-Z and Beyoncé to the 17 years between George and Amal Clooney, celebrities have found their matching partners more than 10 years older than them. Jonas and Priyanka have a 10-year gap. Viola and Julius Tennon have a 12-year gap. Heidi Klum and Kaulitz have a 16-year gap. DeGeneres and Portia Rossi have a 15-year gap, and the list goes on. Well, the age difference usually becomes a problem when one of the pair is barely an adult, which was the case with Winona Ryder and Johnny Depp. Before Winona met Depp, the only person Ryder had dated was Christian Slater, and their fling lasted a couple of weeks in the late 80s. For the then 17-year-old Ryder, Depp was her first real everything when they started dating. He was her first real kiss, her first real boyfriend, her first fiancé, her first real breakup, and her first heartbreak. Johnny Depp, on the other hand, had been previously married, divorced, and engaged, and had broken up before he met Winona in 1989. From 83 to 85, Johnny Depp was married to makeup artist Lori-Ann Allison when he was just 20. Depp then dated Twin Peaks star Sherilyn Fenn in the late 80s after the two met on the set of the 1985 student film Dummies. The pair later co-starred on a 1987 episode of Depp's TV show, 21 Jump Street. Depp reportedly got engaged to the shameless actress before eventually calling it quits. He also dated Dirty Dancing actress Jennifer Grey in 1989, but they didn't last long. In 1989, Johnny Depp and Winona met at the lobby of New York City's Ziegfeld Theater, and both of them have said it was love at first sight. At the time, Winona Ryder was almost 18 and Johnny Depp was 27. She recalled that she was getting a Coke, while Depp had said that it was a classic glance, like the zoom lenses in West Side Story, and everything else gets foggy. For their first date, they met at a friend's house, and she was enamored by how shy he was. They reportedly shared an instant connection because they both had a mutual obsession with the Mission soundtrack, Jack Kerouac and J.D. Salinger's The Catcher in the Rye. Depp was a big fan of the Beat Poets, and that was the kind of literature that Ryder grew up with. Together, they read beat poetry, collected first editions of those poetry books, visited her father's counterculture bookstore in Petaluma, listened to music, and spent hours together. He even got a tattoo that said, "Winona Forever." Despite the age difference, the couple's relationship continued, and as their careers grew, so did their love. After dating for only 5 months, they were engaged, and then a month after that, they moved in together. In an interview with People, Depp openly gushed about the actress and professed his undying love for her. He said he could not imagine his life without Ryder. Eventually, in 1990, they even starred together in the film Edward Scissorhands. In addition to their on-screen chemistry, Depp and Ryder shared the same chemistry in real life, making it clear that the two were meant for one another. The film, which was released in 1990, took months to film, meaning these two had more than enough time to develop strong feelings for one another. And just after 5 months of dating, the Pirates of the Caribbean star asked Winona to marry him. Winona's family were huge fans of Johnny's, and her father didn't have any reservations about Depp, and totally approved of the match. When they visited Winona's family home in Petaluma to get out of New York City, where they had a loft, her family would pamper them during their visits. Unfortunately, they never made it to the altar. Ryder and Depp announced in June 1993 that they had ended their engagement and decided to split despite being engaged for 3 years. Fans of both stars were crushed when the news broke, and we totally get why. The breakup left Johnny Depp completely shattered, and he couldn't even bring himself to talk about the split. With one failed marriage under his belt, the star took his engagement being called off quite hard, and has even gone as far as claiming that he has never been the same since he and Winona Ryder split up. Johnny quickly went to work on Ed Wood with Tim Burton after the breakup. According to Tim Burton, Johnny Depp was completely devastated, and he described the situation saying, "With Kate Moss was not the same with Winona. Felt weird to be around him because it was not like Johnny. It was as if Winona will take the soul of Johnny, the love of Johnny." The filmmaker had later mentioned that Depp turned up to work in floods of tears and recalled that talking about the split, Depp told him that the breakup was his fault, not Ryder's. The case was the same with Winona. After her breakup with Depp, Ryder found herself quite devastated and slowly spinning out of control. She was depressed for weeks, and the doctor diagnosed her with anticipatory nostalgia, whatever that is. Winona said she attempted being an alcoholic for 2 weeks, spent a lot of time in her hotel room drinking screwdrivers from the minibar, smoking cigs, and listening to Tom Waits. One night she fell asleep with a lit cigarette and woke up the flames in the room. For her, that moment was the wake-up call she desperately needed for weeks. As mentioned, Johnny Depp had Winona Forever tattooed on his body, and after the breakup, it was just weird to have that writing on his body. Rather than get rid of the tattoo, he opted to have it changed to Wino Forever. Explaining his decision to keep the tattoo, Depp once said, "To have the tattoo removed or erase it is to try and say it never happened. If I alter it in some way, make it funny, put her next boyfriend's name on top of it, it would still be honest." Neither Winona Ryder nor Johnny Depp have publicly discussed why they broke up. Well, at least not in detail. Depp has stated that allowing the media into their lives was a big mistake and that the media attention was a factor. He blamed his honesty, telling the Los Angeles Times, "It's very hard to have a personal life in this town. My relationship with Winona, it was my mistake to be as open as we were. But I thought if we were honest, it would destroy that curiosity monster. Instead, it fed it, gave people license to feel they were part of it." Winona, on the other hand, was tired of the amount of backlash they were getting. Their relationship was constantly being criticized because of the age difference between the two. It's been over 20 years since Winona and Johnny's breakup, but despite having broken up, Depp and Ryder have managed to remain friends after all these years. Depp has gone on to date several other people, including supermodel Kate Moss and French entertainer Vanessa Paradis. Depp and model Vanessa Paradis were in a relationship for 14 years before splitting in 2012. The exes have 2 children together, 16-year-old Chanel model Lily Rose and 14-year-old Jack. Then he was linked to Amber Heard soon after. Those two began dating in 2012 after meeting 3 years earlier on the set of The Rum Diary. Depp was actually rumored to have begun seeing Heard while he was still dating the mother of his 2 children, Vanessa Paradis, a theory that reportedly upset Winona Ryder. After being married for only 2 years between 2015 and 2017, he split from his wife, Amber Heard. It wasn't too long after that domestic abuse claims began to emerge from Heard's side. She claimed in court documents obtained by Riveted that Depp had allegedly verbally and physically abused her during the entirety of their relationship, which Depp denied. The pair officially divorced in January 2017, but the drama continued. Following Heard's 2018 op-ed about abuse for the Washington Post, Depp filed a $50 million defamation lawsuit against his ex. The drama recently resurfaced, but Winona Ryder has spoken in support of Johnny Depp about the abuse allegations, saying, "I can only speak from my own experience, which was wildly different than what is being said. He was never that way towards me. Never abusive at all towards me. I only know him as a really good, loving, caring guy who is very, very protective of the people that he loves. I've never seen him be violent toward a person before." Winona was quick to point out that she is not trying to call Heard a liar, but she makes clear that her own years with Johnny were a very important part of her life and that they weren't violent. Following her relationship with Depp, Ryder dated Soul Asylum lead singer Dave Pirner for 3 years and went on to date Matt Damon for 2 years. For a brief time in 1996, Winona was linked to the X-Files star David Duchovny. She was also linked to Beck in the 2000s. Though the rocker never officially confirmed his romance with Winona, the two were rumored to be an item for a short time. In 2001, Winona had a brief relationship with singer-songwriter Pete Yorn. Then she dated the Helmet frontman Paige Hamilton for about a year in 2003. Many of the songs and lyrics on the band's 2004 album Size Matters were actually inspired by her. Later, Winona dated filmmaker Henry Alex Rubin in 2006. The two met while working on Girl Interrupted in the 90s, and Henry even made a mockumentary about Winona's infamous 2001 shoplifting scandal, which she starred in. Next was guitarist Rilo Kiley from 2007 to 2008. While there were rumors that they got engaged, the two never confirmed or denied it. Winona was also rumored to have hooked up with British model James Gooding in 2008. The actress was also briefly and incorrectly linked to Keanu Reeves after she admitted to having a crush on her former co-star. There is actually a very interesting history when it comes to Winona and Keanu. The two started working together in Dracula in 1992, and fans shipped them together. As a matter of fact, the director Francis Coppola hoped he'd sign Johnny Depp for the role of Jonathan Harker, but he ended up signing Keanu Reeves after the recommendation from Winona. While they were shooting Dracula, the two tied the knot on the show, and an actual Romanian priest was present. And Ryder has never stopped reminding us that she may be legally married to Keanu for over 20 years. The two also have a history of working together. In 2006, they worked together in A Scanner Darkly. This was when Ryder revealed that she had a massive crush on Keanu. Her character was supposed to take care of Keanu's character, and according to Winona, it was pretty easy to take care of him. In fact, she was a bit disappointed that they didn't get to make out longer. In 2008, they were back together on The Private Lives of Pippa Lee. They both then appeared in Destination Wedding in 2018. Though Winona keeps her dating life more low-key these days, the actress is thought to have been in a relationship with fashion designer Scott McKinley Hahn since 2011. Hahn is the co-founder of 3 companies, Loomslate, Egan, and Rogan. He's currently the chairman of the Sustainability Steering Committee for the Council of Fashion Designer of America and a board member for the Council for Textile Recycling. Hahn has been seen accompanying Winona Ryder to various events, but of course there's always the question of whether or not the two will get married. Even though Ryder considers herself to be a serial monogamist and came close to marriage in the past, she's not sure if she will ever do it. Apparently, her parents have set the bar too high with their lengthy traditional wedding. She still has fears that her marriage wouldn't work. Winona has also said in the past that she doesn't want to get married because she doesn't want to ever go through the process of divorce. Winona and Johnny Depp are currently just friends, but shippers are longing for the day when they will get back together again. They are clearly still very fond of each other, even though they don't talk as often. Well, even if they don't end up together, we wish them all the best in their love journey, especially Johnny Depp. He currently needs all the luck love can offer. And that brings us to the end of today's video. Remember to check back tomorrow for another amazing video. As always, this has been Riveted.